Wonderful Kira. Now if you give Kira a nice big wave, I'm sure she's going to give you a lovely big wave back. Say hello to everyone, Kira. Lovely stuff. Hi everyone, so of course we have the fantastic Kira here, and she is one of 3 California sea lions at Fort Woburn Safari Park home. Now clues in the name, California is where you're going to find them. You're going to find them all the way from Alaska and down to the tip of Mexico and along that lovely coastline there. And like I said, Kira is one of 3 fantastic female California sea lions we have here at the park. She is 23 years old and she was born here, so she's been here her whole life. And the same for her half-sister Leonie, who's just enjoying the feed outside there with their other companion, Gala. Now Gala joined us a couple of years ago from another collection. She was in need of some companionship and she's come to join our girls here at Woburn, and she's fit in really well with them. It's like she's been here her whole entire life. Now we do lots of wonderful training with our sea lions. They're incredibly intelligent marine mammals, aren't they? So yes, we are. So we like to do lots of what we call husbandry training. Now this is really important. It means that we can health check our sea lions all over. I can get a lovely look in Kira's mouth there. And what I want to see are black teeth. Now that sounds absolutely disgusting, but that means that she's got all the vital bacteria she needs to keep her teeth nice and healthy. You'll notice she doesn't chew her food either, she swallows it whole, but she does use those teeth to grab onto her prey, so it's important they're in tip-top condition. I can get a really nice look at her eyes like I've just done there. I can get her to show me her individual flippers as well, make sure that they're all happy and healthy. And I can also ask her for an she says I'm going to chew this fish for a bit longer. I can ask her for a nice lie down and a nice hold. I can get a good check all over her body. Now this is really important. If we did need to do things like x-rays or blood withdrawals, they're very much used to lying nice and still. So this makes it a stress-free experience for them, as much as can it be a stress-free experience for us. So it's really important that we all do it on their terms as well, and make sure that any veterinary procedure is nice and calm for them. So it's really nice that we can do all of that training, isn't it, Kira, to help keep these guys nice and safe and stress-free, of course. Now that would be very boring if we were just health checking them 24/7, so we do like to do some fun or silly behaviours that we call their learned behaviours. We can do some nice high fives there, and get Kira to do a nice spin around. Now this does look a bit silly and a bit pointless, but it's actually really important for their mental health as well as their physical health, isn't it? So we want to make sure that they're healthy in their brains as well as their bodies. We don't want them getting bored, we want to make sure that they're happy to train with us every single day here at the park. Now all of this training is done through what we call positive reinforcements. That simply means every time Kira does a fantastic behaviour, that she's going to get a fantastic fishy reward. And that simply means that everything she's doing here this afternoon is completely voluntary. It's all on her terms, and it means I'm not forcing her to do anything she doesn't want to do. You'll notice that door behind me we've left open, so if she does want to leave at any time, she's got a nice private pool in there. So she doesn't have to stay in here and see you guys if she doesn't want to. So it's very nice that she does choose to come and train. Now, although we use positive reinforcement, it's not to say that if they don't want to train that they're not going to receive their food. That's not the case. We'll just give it to them in a slightly different way instead. So one way we can do this is by doing what we call a scatter feed. Now, that's exactly what I'm doing with Kira right now, and it uses her hunting abilities like she would have out in the wild. Now, these guys have what we call the dive reflex. Now, this is a really important mechanism in their bodies, which means they can hold their breath for up to 20 minutes. So Kira here can slow her heart rate right down and get as much oxygen as she possibly can out of her blood, and it means that she can hold her breath for a really, really long time, doesn't it? That's of course it does. So it's very important that we let them show these natural features as they are diving around. You'll also notice she's got those lovely whiskers as well. That's going to help her feel around at the bottom of the ocean when it's nice and dark. So their eyesight is very good, but when it's really pitch black down there in the ocean, it can be quite tricky to see, can't it? Yes, of course it can. So that's a nice way that she can still see when she is down there. Now the fish I've got for this feed today is a mixture of sprat and herring. We do also give them mackerel and capelin on occasion as well. They are carnivores, so it's a very natural diet for them, and they would be what we call opportunistic feeders. That means they're going to eat any fish they can get their hands on, so lots of different species of fish. They're also going to eat mollusks and crustaceans as well, and even seabirds. They have been known to take prey to the size of a penguin. So although they are nice and big, very sweet looking, they can be quite good carnivores as well. But they do have to look out for some predators of their own. Now Kira's going to give us a nice impression of what might be trying to come and eat Kira's wild counterparts out there. Can you guys shout out what she's doing a nice impression of? A shark, well done. So that's what Kira needs to look out for when she is out there in the ocean, and her wild counterparts of course. Now there's a few ways that they can check out for these sharks, things like whale sharks, tiger sharks, bull sharks and orcas. She can check that water before she's even got in. She's got the advantage of being a mammal that can come out onto the land, so she's got one up on those sharks. However, they're not always very good at checking the water. Sometimes they don't notice that those predators are out there. So instead, if she's already swimming and she spots one of these predators out there like a dolphin or a porpoise. And you can see with just Kira doing this behaviour, it's getting extremely choppy in here. Now out in the wild, sea lions can live in groups of up to 30 animals, so that's going to get very busy if you've got 30 sea lions all jumping out in and out of the water like this at once. And so it's a nice way to mix the water up, get it nice and murky, and it means that those sharks can't spot where those sea lions are. Now when the coast is clear, they can jump up onto those jetties at the coastline and keep themselves safe. So it's a really nice natural behaviour to keep them safe when they're out there in the wild. Now what's a little bit embarrassing is that some people get sea lions confused with seals, isn't it, Kira? Very embarrassing. So we're going to show you guys a few ways you can tell the difference so that you don't get them mixed up when you see them out and about. Now the first difference is on the side of Kira's head. She's going to show them to you. They are her lovely ears. Now seals don't have these ears, but our fantastic sea lions do. So that's a nice easy way you can quickly tell the difference by looking on the side of their head. Now the next difference is how they move on the land. Now sea lions, Kira's getting excited, she's getting ahead of me here. Sea lions are going to move a little bit like this, using all 4 flippers and that fantastic rotating pelvis so that they can move a little bit like that. Now seals aren't half as graceful as our lovely sea lions, and hopefully Kira's going to show you exactly how seals like to move across the land. They're going to move a little bit more like this, a bit more like a slug. So they aren't half as graceful as our fantastic sea lions. Now the final difference is how they swim around in the water. Now Kira here, being a lovely sea lion, is going to use these fantastic big front flippers. Now seals are slightly different. They're going to use these teeny tiny back flippers. So that's just a few ways that you can tell the difference between our fantastic sea lions and seals, so that you don't get confused and embarrass yourself, so that you know the difference for next time. Now we've talked a little bit about natural predators these guys face. Unfortunately, it's not all plain sailing for our lovely sea lions. They do face some man-made threats as well, which is why we do have them here at the park. We like to tell you guys a bit about some of the threats they face that unfortunately are caused by us people. Now hopefully Kira's going to help her with this one. She doesn't always, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to be a very bad zookeeper, and I'm going to pollute the ocean with my plastic. Kira here, hopefully, she says I don't want to today, is hopefully going to recycle. We'll ask her one more time. If she doesn't want to recycle, that's fine. She's just being a bad sea lion today. She doesn't want to do any recycling. Are you being silly? You are being silly. But that's fine. If she doesn't want to recycle, that's good. But what we recommend is that you guys recycle. Isn't that right, Kira? Don't say no, say yes. Now that's right, we want all of you guys here to recycle, put all of your plastic waste into the correct spaces. And that means it's not going to end up in our sea lions' waters, especially things like this sort of shape in plastic. You can imagine that's going to fit nicely around Kira's head. So we don't want that ending up in their waters, making their water nice and toxic, and meaning that it can get stuck on our sea lions or they can accidentally eat these items. So it is really important that you are able to recycle all of your plastic waste where possible. Now the other threat I'm going to touch upon is something called overfishing. Now this is simply where fishermen will take lots of fish for us to eat, and they don't leave enough for our lovely marine life out there in the ocean. Now what you guys can do is shop for this lovely logo. Now this is the MSC logo. It stands for Marine Stewardship Council. It will tell you that the fish you are buying has been caught sustainably. So when the fishermen do overfishing, they take lots of fish, they use these big trawler nets. You're going to look at the crowd, lovely stuff. And they don't leave enough fish for our fantastic marine life. So by looking for this logo on all of those fish products in the supermarket, you're supporting the right type of fisherman, which is going to leave plenty of fish for Kira's wild counterparts and friends out there in California. Now we don't want to end a demonstration on doom and gloom. We want you to have a lovely day here at Woburn. So we are going to finish on some of the behaviours that Kira likes the best, so that you guys can still enjoy your afternoon and not leave it on a bit of a sour note. We do like our sea lions to have some fun as well. Now for the final behaviour, I'm going to need a nice big countdown from 3 for you guys. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh. Should we try that again? She says I kind of did it. Oh. We'll give it one more go. Come on, Kira. She's not doing too bad. There we go. Third time lucky. She's done a lovely ball jump for you guys. Now Kira here has been fantastic here this afternoon. I hope you guys will all agree that she's done, I'm chewing my fish at the moment, that's not very exciting. She has done, no, she said I don't want to clap myself. I was going to get her to give herself a clap, but instead, she's going to give you all a wave. She has done a fantastic job here this afternoon at teaching you guys the differences between sea lions and seals, how to keep them safe, and a little bit about the lovely sea lions themselves. So for me and Kira, we hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a lovely rest of your afternoon here